Hey YouTube, got another video for you. These are all budget priced knives, less than $20. These are $20 or less, all folding knives. I'm going to go through all these and you know, maybe if you're in the market for a budget blade, you'll see something that you need or want. When I do a video like this, I'm not trying to include every single good budget knife on the planet because then the video would be too long. And I also don't have all those knives. Alright, so this is, you know, what you see is what you get. I do not have the Kershaw Nerve in this video. I've already recommended the Kershaw Nerve and shown it in 4 other videos. So I just don't want the videos to be redundant. But yeah, go check out the Kershaw Nerve. It's a great budget knife. And I will include the exact names of each knife in the text box if you want to, you know, look them up on stores and so forth. Alright, let's go through all these. This is the Smith & Wesson Cutting Horse lockback knife. You can see it's kind of, you know, it's basically a hard rubbery type handle material. It has a little opening hole. It's about 3.5 inches in blade length. You see what it is. It's a nice little handy clip point. It is very lightweight. Alright, lanyard hole. And they do have other sizes of the cutting horse. Best thing about this, you can get these for like 10 bucks. Right, the steel is pretty bad. I believe it's 400 series stainless, which is a, you know, which is a bad steel. That's why it's only 10 bucks. But you know, it's a decent utility beater. And it is lightweight for the length. Alright, so Smith & Wesson Cutting Horse Folder. Oh yes, hello birds, the window is open. It just reduces the echo a little. This is the SOG AutoClip knife. It is a lockback. It does have lightweight FRN handle. Alright, there's the clip for which it is named after. Alright, the spring-loaded clip. Thumb studs there. Alright, this is also a cheap knife. I think it's like, I don't know, 12 or 15 maybe. They have different sizes. Alright, this is the size which is basically 3.5 inches in blade length. And you can see, hold on, you can see it's pretty much a similar blade shape to that cutting horse. Alright, partial hollow grind clip point. And you know, for the price, this is actually the kind of knife that you just throw one in like your glove box. This knife is the Bucklite Max large size. They also have a smaller size. As you can see, it is a lockback, and this type of lockback is sometimes called a back lock because the button is down towards the pommel. Lanyard hole there. Dual thumb studs is the opener. Alright, and the blade length on this, again, it's around 3.5 inches. It is very narrow, almost stiletto-like. And this is Buck's 420 high carbon steel. The same steel that's used in a Buck 110 lockback, right? And that's a very good, you know, budget steel when combined with Buck's heat treatment that they're known for. All right, and this knife, you know, it's around $18. All right, and this is actually, of these knives right here, this is one of the best ones you can get because of the, mainly because of the steel, and also this came super sharp. I mean, for a cheap knife, this came as sharp as a lot more expensive ones. Buck Max Lite. Like I said, this comes incredibly sharp for a budget blade. This knife right here is the K-Bar K2 Agama folder. Spear point tip design. See that there? Kind of a bird-like opening hole. The handle on this, it's aluminum, textured aluminum, right, with a diamond texture pattern. Circular cutouts add for grip and lightness. Open pillar construction. And I got this knife for $12. And honestly, it's very hard to think of a knife that's $12 that would actually be better than this. Alright, they have reintroduced this. The newest version does not have an aluminum handle, right? It has different handle material, but it's essentially the same knife, it's the same blade. And you know, for the $12 I paid, it is actually very sturdy. I mean, that's one thing about metal handles, very sturdy. Alright, and speaking of K-bar, this is a K-bar Dozier lockback, FRN handle. Alright, lockback mechanism, opening hole. And these come in a lot of different, let me get the fingerprints. These come in a lot of different sizes and tip designs. This happens to be the clip point tip design. Nice grind line, satin finish. Alright, that is AUS 8. And these go for about, you know, $20. Sometimes you can get them for less. But and this would be a smaller size, you know, more around the size of a Delica, and super lightweight, obviously, because of the FRN. But altogether, definitely a handy little beater EDC if you're going for, you know, more closer to 3" rather than 3.5. It's pretty nice. All right, this is the Byrd Caracara 2 lockback, the FRN handle. You see the nice texturing on the handle. All right, and the bird eye type opening hole. This has been called by many to be a great budget alternative to an Endura. All right, so this is basically a poor man's Endura. All right, and I've already done a review of it, so you can check that out. And many other people have reviewed it. All right, so I'm not going to talk too much about it. I'll just show it. And you know, if you want a budget version of an Endura, you know, check out those reviews. This is the Schrade EX Timer Linerlock. You know, and speaking of Byrd knives, do you want a you know, a Schrade kind of a copy of a lot of the Byrd designs? That's what this looks like to me. And you know, the main sell on this, the price, you know, I think you can get these for $15, sometimes even less, $12. It's a Linerlock with aluminum handle scales. It's pretty sturdy for what it is. The steel is very bad. It's 400 series stainless, which is it's pretty bad. It's like surgical steel, but that's why it's, you know, that's what makes this so cheap. But yeah, this is basically, you know, it's on par with the Byrd type knives. Alright, and I'm just including this because I know you've probably seen this and you were wondering. Well, here it is. And it is sturdy. It's open pillar. You know, roughly equal to like the Byrd Meadowlark and those type of knives. This knife here is, it's called the Navigator, actually. It is basically a copy of the Benchmade Heckler & Koch Ally knife. Right, this is a copy made by Tomahawk. It does have some slight differences. It's a tiny bit longer. The opening hole is a different shape. The biggest difference was that I got this for literally like $4. Alright, and I don't think they sell it for that cheap anymore on Amazon, but it's still less than $20 if you can find one. And you know, it's just a small handy knife. You know, it's a clone. It's a clone of the Ally knife, which I do have, obviously with crappier steel. Hold on. What kind of steel is that? Yeah, you never heard of it? Either have I. That's because it's some worst steel in the world. But there you go. Now this knife is actually a damn useful knife. This is the Angler. And this knife usually goes for about $4. I can guarantee you're going to get your money's worth and more within the first few days, because what is it? You know, basically it's the Angler Mini Karambit, but what it really is just a tiny utility knife for your keychain. If you need a little folding keychain utility knife, this would be it. That little thing is ring is handy for your pinky. It's also handy when you're opening it. They even have a little a thumb rest with jimping. This is basically a replacement for it's a replacement for a box cutter. It's a little handy utility knife, and I would recommend it to everyone. It's sturdy. It has an all metal handle. All right, nice little keychain folding knife. What is this knife? This knife is a hilarious knife to me for many reasons. First of all, I got it for $4, and you know, as ashamed I am to admit it, I actually use this knife quite a bit to open packages. Flipper opening. It's made by Tiger USA. Now, why do I use this to open packages? Well, actually, if you look at the handle, it actually really gives you a good grip with that deep finger groove. All right, so usually, you know, and you can, it actually is a good shape for opening packages. And I don't mind if it gets like sticky crap from the tape or anything, because it was only $4. It has served me quite well. Oh, and the funniest thing, this actually says "Take down Al Qaeda" right on it. Hold on. Yeah, it actually says "Take down Al Qaeda." And, you know, it's the Tiger USA, I believe it's called the MTF knife. Originally, I thought it was a copy of the Boker, you know, those Boker subcom folders, but it's actually it's scaled up to like twice the size. I didn't realize that. I just thought I was getting a clone. But like I said, I have actually found a use for it. You know, one of the best $4 I ever spent, actually. This knife is the CRKT Ryan 7. Alright, it's about 3.5 inches in blade length, but it's actually very wide and fairly thick. It's a very beefy knife for its length. Nice big handle too. If you're looking for more like harder use, everyday carry, this would be it. It's a little wider, thicker, just basically altogether more sturdy than most of these other knives. And the price is, you know, it's below $20. Alright, so the Ryan 7. Alright, did you know Colt sells knives? They do. This is the Colt CT336. It's aluminum handle with 3 different texture patterns. It's kind of cool. And yeah, this is a pretty, it's a pretty cheap steel. I think it's like 440A or something like that. But the best thing about this knife, you can sometimes get these for like $12, $10, sometimes $8. And for that price, it does have a very nice blade shape. A little bit of recurve there. And, you know, it's worth it for the price. So if you ever wondered about those Colt knives you see for incredibly cheap prices, yeah, you know, I think it is worth the $8 to $12. So there it is. Alright, this knife right here is the Rite Edge folding knife. That's just some skate tape I added. The way it comes, it's just smooth stainless steel handle. Open pillar with flipper. These go for about $10. And it's actually a real nice knife. I believe they sell these in stores sometimes. Rite Edge. Alright, there you go. It's a drop point. And you know, once you put a little grip on it, because the handle, you know, it's very smooth, obviously, just the raw stainless steel, but put a little bit of some grip material on it, and it's a pretty good knife for the price. I mean, it's just as good as a lot of those San Remu knives that people have. It is a frame lock. Alright. And yeah. Alright, last but not least, a budget Kershaw. This is the Kershaw Scamp. They go for around $18. I'm sure sometimes you can get them for way less. And it's a spear point. It's about 3.5 inches in blade length. It has a dark gray coating, obviously. And it's a frame lock. That's the big difference between this and all the other budget Kershaws. I know they have quite a few, but all the other ones are liner locks. This is a frame lock, so it's actually slimmer than most of the other budget Kershaws. And you know, I think it gives you a more secure grip because you're holding it closed basically. And it would be a very good beater EDC knife. And also with that spear point tip design, you know, some secondary defensive ability. But mainly if you're looking for a good less than $20 frame lock, Kershaw Scamp. Alright, so there you go. 14 very useful budget blades, all of which are less than $20. You know, all the people that are stuck on a tight budget for whatever reason, hey, you know, I'm trying to help you out. You know, don't say I never did anything for you. You know, there's a lot of channels that don't even touch anything that's not a custom. Alright, so trying to help you out a little. And if you want my overall pick from all these knives, it would be the Bucklite Max Large. I like the blade shape, the lightness. The handle is a little more sturdy. Initial sharpness, very good. And the Buck 420 HC, hey, if it's good enough for the Buck 110, which almost everyone has, it's good enough for this blade. So yeah, I'd recommend the Bucklite Max Large as my top pick. So, hope you enjoyed the video. Stay tuned for many more. I'm out of here, dudes. Peace out.